Greetings, Lightworker. So this is an energy update about the solar eclipse coming up. Oftentimes we feel the energy before the eclipse, right? Sometimes 10 days before, 5 days before, 3 days before, anywhere like that, and on the day of as well. Most likely, depending on probably your astrology and how sensitive you are. I know I've been feeling a lot of energy the past few days. I was basically bedridden like 3 days ago, and then yesterday I literally manifested a snake inside of my villa here in Bali, Indonesia. I walked downstairs. My wife Amanda and our baby was upstairs. I walked downstairs. I see this long snake actually right next to the crib, and I just like freaked out, and I'm like super afraid of snakes. I'm just like, I don't know, there's something about them that just kind of really gives me the creeps. And I don't know if you're afraid of spiders, but I mean, you can relate of something you're like super afraid of. Eventually I like crawled up onto the couch to try to see like where it was, and then I opened the door, and honestly it seemed like the snake just disappeared, because after I opened the door, well, I actually couldn't see it because it was behind the crib, but I was looking in that area, and for like 5-10 minutes I didn't see anything, and then later on we just we looked through the entire room and it wasn't there anymore, so it must have slipped out the door. Yet, as you know, snake represents transformation. So me, as well as probably you, my soul family watching this is a time of deep inner transformation. As you probably know, in my last video, I mentioned that 5 planets are in Capricorn now, and I think at least 4 or 5 planets remain in Capricorn until January 18th. So means a lot of going inwards time, structuring your life, maybe setting goals. Now I wanted to go over a few specific themes that I feel are going on right now. I was getting a lot of downloads last night, so I want to share this with you. The first download I got is that at this time, you may notice in your life friends distancing themselves, especially maybe a best friend, and it could feel really painful. Yet what's happening is literally happening with myself and with many other soul family members. What's happening is people are stepping into their power, and so maybe you have a best friend and they are now owning their boundaries in their life that maybe they didn't own before. And so as they step up into this new level of personal empowerment, unfortunately you're getting the kind of the blunt edge of that. And so it's not necessarily to take it personally, it's just them in their evolutionary process. So I know me personally, I've had this happen, actually Amanda and I've had this happen with many soul family members, not just one best friend, but many right now. And it's just a time to go inwards, to feel whatever feelings come up around this, and to know that it's just allowing us to step even more into our personal sovereignty as a sovereign being. And once again, going back to the foundation of our life, of our business, and going back to ground zero. It's almost like a reset button. And you probably noticed that there is honestly a loneliness epidemic in the modern world, especially in the Western world. Just the way things are set up, you know, people are working at their jobs, people don't have time, they don't have enough money, and really people are so busy. A lot of us are staying at home, watching TV on our computers, watching YouTube, which is all good. However, if we're always at home on social media or watching TV, we are not outside, we're not getting in the four elements, and we're not spending time and creating new connections, new friendships, and spending quality time with loved ones. And so oftentimes, especially as deeply sensitive, intuitive empaths, light workers, starseeds, we spend a lot of time alone, right? Because we don't necessarily feel like we fit into the world a lot of the time. However, then we're not getting literally the connection and the love that we crave as human beings. And sometimes we forget about that, or maybe we don't put it at the top priority in our life. So this loneliness epidemic, some tips to dealing with this is to get out of our comfort zone, is to just get out of the house. I remember many years ago when I was single and I was just feeling super alone when I would go back home sometimes. I would just get out of the house and just go to a cafe, go anywhere where there's other people. Even if you just have a few words with someone that day, it's better than nothing. It might sound kind of ridiculous, but it's actually could make you feel so much better. So with that being said, you could be experiencing some intense twin flame separation at this time. I know 3 couples in our life, in our soul family, who are going through major separation right now. So if you're going through twin flame separation right now, bless you, soul, and just know that on a higher level, your higher self signed up for this. Even though that might be hard to hear, just sending you so much love at this time and empathizing with your current situation. So the last download I got is to give what you're most craving at this time. Just know that your fellow soul family, maybe even the people around you, are feeling the same way. So you could identify this time what you're really craving. It could be connection, love, community. That's a big one. How can you give your love to create more of that? So if you're wanting community, how can you connect more with your neighbors or your friends? Maybe you could just give them gifts at this time. You could literally walk over to your neighbor's place and give them cookies or give them some sort of a present from the heart. You can also just simply call people up. Call up old friends and let them know, hey, it's so good to connect with you. How are you? How can I support you at this time? And so oftentimes we are craving something, and yet when we give that, when we offer it to others, it can be an incredible transformational and uplifting experience for both of us, because at the end of the day, we all want the same thing, and that's love, connection, intimacy, all that good stuff. And if we are feeling something deep down, more likely than not, other people are feeling that as well, and yet they just don't have the courage to come out and share it and acknowledge it and to give that. So if, as you are courageous enough to give what you crave most, you will create more community and more of the things that you really want. And also allow yourself to fail. And just know that failure doesn't even exist, and that every time you fail, it's just a chance to learn and grow and become more empowered and more in touch with who you truly are. So I hope you got some value from this video. Much love to you. Namaste. Namaskar.